Flight 715 departed at midnight, bound for Tokyo. It was a full flight, filled with business travelers, tourists, and families. The cabin lights dimmed, and most passengers drifted off to sleep as the plane cruised at 35,000 feet. 3 hours into the flight, the turbulence started. It was light at first, a few bumps and shakes. The captain's calm voice came over the intercom, "Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing minor turbulence. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened." The passengers relaxed. But then the plane jolted violently, throwing trays and bags to the floor. The lights flickered and dimmed. A deafening roar echoed through the cabin as the plane seemed to drop suddenly. Screams filled the air. Oxygen masks dropped from the ceiling. "Brace for impact," the flight attendants yelled as they hurried down the aisles. But the plane didn't crash. It stabilized as quickly as it had plummeted. The screams subsided into nervous whispers and sobs. The passengers tried to catch their breath, gripping their armrests. "Ladies and gentlemen," the captain's voice returned, shaky this time, "we seem to have encountered an anomaly. Please remain calm." That's when they saw it. Outside the windows, the night sky wasn't black anymore. It shimmered with strange, pulsating colors, like a living aurora borealis. A man near the window gasped, pointing outside. "There's something out there." Shapes began to form in the colors, shadowy, indistinct figures floating just beyond the windows. They seemed to be watching, their eyes glowing faintly in the dark. The plane jerked again, harder this time. Passengers screamed as their surroundings seemed to distort. The aisle stretched impossibly long, the overhead compartments appeared to melt, and the air felt heavy, suffocating. Then, the passengers began to disappear. It started with the man by the window. One moment, he was clutching his seat, trembling. The next, he was gone, leaving only his seatbelt dangling loose. One by one, people vanished, mothers holding their children, a flight attendant clutching the intercom, a group of friends whispering prayers. The remaining passengers huddled together, their eyes darting to every corner of the cabin. The shadows outside grew closer, pressing against the windows, their shapes clearer now, humanoid, but wrong. Their faces were featureless, except for their glowing eyes. Suddenly, the cockpit door burst open, revealing nothing. The cockpit was empty. The plane was flying itself. The whispers began. Faint at first, then louder, surrounding the remaining passengers. The words were incomprehensible but filled with malice. The plane started descending rapidly, the wind screaming against its hull. Just as it seemed they would crash, everything stopped. The plane was found the next morning in a remote, foggy clearing. Its engines were off, its fuel tanks empty. But there was no sign of the passengers or crew. The seats were intact, the luggage untouched, but the people were gone. Authorities never solved the mystery. Locals claim the area is cursed, haunted by the spirits of those lost in the crash. And sometimes, on quiet nights, they say you can still hear the whispers of Flight 715, echoing through the trees.